Tonight, the toddler trapped in an 88-foot well is still trying to be rescued. More on what the Indian officials are doing to try to save his life.
Taco Bell in Oswego is set to open this Wednesday. What Taco Bell has planned on opening day.
And an added police presence throughout the state on Halloween night. Why the police believe it's important to have more officers on duty.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Kevin Nestor filling in for Joseph Vandervang.
And I'm Maddie Hewitt.
Officials in India are racing against the clock to save a toddler who fell down an 88-foot well on Friday. The toddler, who was 2 years old, fell down the well located on the southern state of Tamil Nadu around 1:45 p.m. last Friday, and officials are still working to reach the young boy. Oxygen is currently being pumped into the well, with the camera monitoring the boy's condition.
Around 550 people are involved in the rescue operation, including workers from fire services, national and state disaster management agencies, and the police. They are concentrating their efforts on drilling a shaft parallel to the well for the rescue mission. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tweeted support for the rescue operation, saying every effort was being made to save the boy. Officials are hoping the operation will be complete in the next coming day and will have a successful outcome.
Moments ago, the City of Oswego Common Council held a public hearing and voted Oswego Clean Initiative. The vote officially banned styrofoam containers as well as smoking, vaping, and tobacco use on city property.
Oswego Mayor Billy Barlow also increased the littering fine to $200. The number of trash cans in downtown and in city parks will also be doubled. The charges will take effect on April 22nd, 2020, which is also Earth Day.
Oswego Common Council Vice President Kevin Hill announces that he'll be running for re-election. According to Oswego County Now, Hill has served in the Republican Party and is pursuing a second term to represent the 3rd Ward of the city. The Democratic candidate running against Hill is Jonathan Ashline, who is running on the Working Families Party. Election for the 3rd Ward will be on November 5th.
Taco Bell Oswego is hosting its official grand opening this coming Wednesday. The Oswego store has been under construction since May, and many hungry residents are pleased after the equipment delays pushed back the opening of the fast food chain and can now get their taco fix. The opening ceremony is expected to draw a large crowd, with the festivities starting as early as 7 a.m. and the ribbon cutting taking place at 10 a.m.
A report published by the Empire Center calls the New York State's Excelsior Scholarship wasteful, crudely designed, and regressive. Established in 2017, the scholarship awards tuition cost to families who have a gross income of $125,000 or less. The report also states the program favors wealthier families and doesn't account to 40% of New York students. According to CNY Central, this resulted in 3.8% of undergrad students in SUNY and CUNY schools who are awarded the scholarship, which is 40 times less than the amount of students projected.
Family and Friends Weekend, a time when the SUNY Oswego residents are visited by their close ones and have a jam-packed weekend of activities and catching up. Our Pablo Pachucho talked to some of these families. Pablo?
Thanks, guys. With so many students coming to Oswego from different parts of New York and other states, events like this one is a good way for residents to have their home come to them, and for the families to see their home away from home and see what the Oswego community has to offer. Family and Friends Weekend is a celebrated tradition where students can reunite with their loved ones and spend quality time with them. For some students, it's an exciting way to show their family the accomplishments they've made so far at their home away from home. Students Angiselle Hernandez and Brianna Walker have done exactly that.
I really miss them, so when they come here, I feel like supported in everything.
Like, it's just nice to see them, hang out with them, just to see how I'm doing.
Yeah.
As for the family and friends, it's a good way to see how their students have settled into SUNY Oswego, as well as becoming familiar with the campus and town. One family who's done exactly that are the Miner, Callender, and Hechanova family, a blended family who came up from New York City.
We checked out the lake, the barbershop, yeah.
Walmart.
One of the activities for the Family and Friends Weekend was the Oswego men's hockey exhibition game against Nazareth.
Yes. We're going to check the hockey game out.
A 2-decade tradition, Friends and Family Weekend opens up opportunities not only for students, but for those who are unfamiliar with the town of Oswego. Between learning about Oswego staples and the exciting hockey games, for one weekend, the Oswego community grows just a little bit bigger.
1, 2, 3. Go Lakers!
Family and Friends Weekend isn't the only time we have hockey games, so stop by the box office to get your tickets for next game where the Lakers host the Cortland Red Dragons this Friday.
Governor Cuomo announces their $7.2 million project to improve the state Route 14 is completed. The project allows both drivers and pedestrians to safely travel and from the village from Watkins Glen to the town of Reading and Schuyler County. This 15.8-mile-long project restores a smooth riding road, new sidewalks with traffic signals, and assures the safety for people throughout the village.
Non-profit executive Anna Mendez was convicted of using money stolen from a non-profit organization. New York Attorney General Letitia James announced Garnett gave political contributions to New York City Council candidate Albert Alvarez. This conviction marks the 5th disposition in the corruption investigation from the 2 daycare centers where Mendez worked. Mendez was convicted of 10 counts of offering a false instrument for filing in the 1st degree.
With only 3 days till Halloween, Governor Cuomo is increasing the total amount of officers patrolling for a safe night. With regular cruisers and unmarked vehicles, police advise everyone to stay sober behind the wheel and off their phones. Police Superintendent Keith Corlett says police cars will be highly visible and their message is clear to never drink and drive. With multiple sobriety checkpoints added, a DWI patrol driver are being told to choose a designated driver and enjoy the night.
Coming up later tonight, wildfires continue to blaze through California. More on why the government declared this a state of emergency.
And another extension on Brexit. More on what this means for the British Parliament.
Now, let's take a quick look with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Brittany Sparcino.
Brittany, what can we expect?
Hi, thanks guys. So today we had such a beautiful day and those conditions are going to last into tonight. As we look at our current satellite radar, we have nothing but clear skies. As we move along to our current temperatures, we're sitting at 56 degrees here in Oswego, and we haven't moved much since we had a high of 62 degrees. Are these conditions going to last? Find out my full forecast coming up after the break.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. We're here at the desk with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Brittany Sparcino. Brittany, we had an amazing day with really great weather today.
Yeah, I gotta say, I really been enjoying the sunsets that have been going on right now because they are really nice.
They're absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at the one we had tonight. Nothing but clear skies. We did have an incredible sunset, and that is going to last within the next few days of the week. We're going to see nothing but clear skies and warm weather. I know you guys are enjoying that. I sure am. But as we look ahead into the week, that is all going to change. But as we look at today's highs, we sat at 62 degrees here in Oswego, which is about normal for this time of year. And we were a little warmer at Fairhaven with a high of 64 degrees. And looking ahead at our current temperatures, we did not move at all today. We're still very warm as we are here at 56 degrees. And as we move inland, the temperatures do decrease a little bit, but they're still warm for this time of year. And as we zoom out across the rest of the region, nothing but the same, nothing but warm temperatures, and that is going to be the story for the next few days. Looking at current satellite radar, we have nothing but clear skies and no precipitation, and that is going to change, unfortunately, as we do move into the later part of the week. So we're going to look at today's headlines on what we are going to expect for the rest of the week. We are going to see the cooler temperatures settle in, and the wind, unfortunately, is going to come back into play as we move late into the week, and we are going to have a very rainy Halloween. So let's time that out for you. For your Tuesday, for your evening commute, we do see those clouds rolling in, but we are going to be sitting at 64 degrees here in Oswego. And that is going to change as we move into Wednesday. We are going to cool down a little bit, but we are still going to be a little warm for this time of year with 55 degrees. And when Halloween comes around on Thursday, so does a heavy rain, and we are going to be seeing that all throughout your Halloween, and we are going to see those temperatures warm up a little bit. But if you are going trick-or-treating, I would suggest bringing an umbrella and a rain jacket, as that rain is going to be steady throughout the night. So let's recap for tomorrow. We're going to see mostly sunny skies with a high of 64 degrees. And for your Halloween forecast, we are going to see those heavy rain, and we're going to see that low of 47 degrees. So it isn't going to be the most pleasant weather, but I would still suggest going out and enjoying it. So looking at your next 7 days, we are going to be having a very pleasant part of the first week. Then we're going to see the rain move in for the later part of the week, and it is going to stick around for your weekend. Coming up after break, more news and sports. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. Former U.S. Senator Kay Hagan has passed away at 66. Hagan was the first female Democratic senator to represent North Carolina from 2009 to 2015. In a statement, Hagan's family says, "We are heartbroken to share that Kay left us unexpectedly this morning. Kay meant everything to us, and we are honored to share her with the people of North Carolina, whom she cared for and fought so passionately as an elected official." They did not share any information on the cause of death except that it was very unexpected.
A woman in Iowa died after a gender reveal party after flying debris from an accidental explosion struck her. 56-year-old Pamela Krymeyer was killed when pieces of shrapnel shot out of a homemade pipe bomb. The sheriff's office says the family was experimenting with various types of explosive materials Friday and Saturday to record a gender reveal that could be posted on social media. No one else at the party was affected by the explosion.
Wildfires burning out of control have forced all of California to be under a state of emergency. The biggest fire, the Kincaid Fire, is only 5% contained as it burns through Sonoma County. Paul Verkerman is at Instant California with the latest.
Flames, thick smoke, and almost pitch black. That's what thousands of people in California faced as they scrambled to leave their homes. Two major wildfires, fed by at times hurricane-force winds, are burning at opposite ends of the state.
If you're in the mandatory evacuation zone and you're still there watching this, you're an idiot.
In the South, new evacuation orders have been issued in Los Angeles. The Getty fire sparked early Monday morning, quickly scorching hundreds of acres. People were forced from their homes on the west side of the 405 freeway near the Getty Center Museum.
We have over 500 firefighters that are on the line right now in some of the most challenging topography of Los Angeles.
Up north in California wine country, the Kincaid Fire is raging and has driven nearly 200,000 people from their homes. Wind gusts reach up to 93 miles per hour over the weekend. Power company PG&E says those winds forced them to cut power out of an abundance of caution.
About 965,000 customers have been impacted at one time or another associated with this event.
The company says forecasts for high winds Tuesday could force them to shut off power to even more customers. In Sonoma, California, I'm Paul Verkaman.
As wildfires continue to spread across Northern California, people are asked to keep residents who continue to evacuate in their homes in prayers.
British backpacker Amelia Bambridge has gone missing in Cambodia after a beach party. She was last seen at Police Beach Wednesday on Rokong Island around 3:30 a.m. The 21-year-old's family was notified by Nest Beach Club hostel manager after she failed to check out. Her brother Harry Bambridge asked for prayers and finding his sister before he boarded a plane to Cambodia. British police are asking anyone with information to email ops@lbtrust.org.
The United Kingdom will not leave the European Union as is scheduled on Thursday after they approved another extension. The UK has until January 31st to leave the EU, but could leave at any earlier date if the deal isn't reached by Britain's parliament. A government spokesperson says despite the EU's decision, Prime Minister Boris Johnson's view had not changed. He believes the UK should leave the EU on October 31st. Johnson, however, formally accepted the deadline to be pushed back.
President Trump has announced the most significant death of a terror group leader since Osama bin Laden in 2011. ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi died over the weekend after a US-led nighttime raid. Now we're finding more out about the mission. John Lawrence reports. President Trump tweeted out this picture of the dog he says took part in the US operation that led to the death of ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. The dog's name is classified, but he's apparently part of the Armored Delta force that executed the raid. According to Trump, the canine chased Baghdadi down a dead-end tunnel. A US defense official says the heroic dog suffered what they believe were injuries from an electrocution. He is currently recovering and has returned to duty with his handler. Coming up in sports, Ben Gramato.
Ben, can you give us a quick preview?
Coming up in sports, Game 5 of the World Series took place in Washington last night with the Astros and Nationals both looking to take control of the series. And the Brooklyn Nets and Memphis Grizzlies also had a wild finish. Sports is up next. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News. Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Ben Gramato with your sports update. The Oswego State women's soccer team picked up their first win of the season in SUNYAC play over the weekend. The Lakers topped the Buffalo State Bengals 2-0 to close out the regular season with a 3-14 overall record. Lindsey Roth scored a pair of goals, including one off of a penalty kick in the 24th minute. Junior Sophia Portolatins recorded 8 saves off of 8 shots in the shutout win. This marks the 3rd straight season that the Lakers missed out on the postseason. Moving over to the ice, the men's ice hockey team defeated Nazareth College in an exhibition game Saturday by a final of 4-3. Jody Sullivan and Joseph Molinaro led the way for the Lakers, scoring the first 2 goals of the game, while Travis Rowan and Tyler Curry also tallied goals in the victory. David Richer started the game in net and held the Golden Flyers to 0 goals while recording 4 saves. The Lakers opened the regular season Friday at home against SUNY Cortland at 7 p.m. The Buffalo Bills fell to the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday by a final of 31-13. Philly gashed Buffalo on the ground, running for 218 rushing yards, highlighted by a 65-yard Miles Sanders touchdown run in the 3rd quarter. Second-year quarterback Josh Allen finished the day with 169 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. The Bills look to bounce back next week as they host the winless Redskins. The Houston Astros took control of the World Series last night, defeating the Nationals 7-1. Garrett Cole went 7 innings, throwing 9 strikeouts and allowing just 1 run. Joe Ross, who started in place of Max Scherzer, was credited with the loss for Washington. Houston now leads the World Series 3-2. Steven Strasburg faces Justin Verlander in Game 6 tomorrow at 8:07 p.m. in Houston. Moving over to the hardwood. The Brooklyn Nets took on the Memphis Grizzlies last night. Kyrie Irving continuing his hot play, taking it right to the hoop right there for 2 points off of the fancy finish as he beats Jonas Valanciunas. Kyrie again, he scored 37 points in the victory, leading the way for the Nets. Memphis here on the break. That's Ja Morant throwing it down. He had 30 points for the Grizzlies. Later on in the game, Morant bringing it to the hoop to tie the game at 110 apiece and bring it to overtime. In overtime, Jay Crowder from the corner, he nails the 3. Feeling it right here. Brooklyn now trailing. Joe Harris is going to come flying in for the tip-in finish to give Brooklyn the 1-point lead. 3 seconds remaining now. Morant finding Crowder, who nails the 3 at the buzzer. And the Memphis Grizzlies take down the Brooklyn Nets by a final of 134-133 in overtime.
Great. Going back to the World Series, too, after 3 games in a row with the Astros winning, do you think that Game 6 will be the last?
I think it's going to be the last one. I think the Astros are just starting to finally figure out this Nationals pitching lineup. Their rotation has been phenomenal. And Verlander, you can't really hit him, and the Nationals have just been struggling overall.
That's probably what the problem was in the beginning of this the World Series so far, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for the update. Thank you.
No problem.
And Brittany, the weather today, pretty incredible, right? After a week of rain and miserableness, we are finally in the sunshine.
You know, it's absolutely beautiful today, but unfortunately that is going to change when we get into the later part of the week. But the next few days are going to be pretty beautiful, so I would just soak up the sunshine while we can, because it's not going to last that long.
Especially with Halloween coming up on this Thursday. What can we expect for Halloween night?
Unfortunately, we're going to have the rainy conditions for Halloween, and it's going to be pretty cold. We're going to have a low of 47 degrees. So if you go trick-or-treating, I would bring out the umbrella and the jacket, because it's going to be pretty miserable, unfortunately.
It's Halloween. It's Halloween night. What are you going to do about it? All right. So that's all for our reports. And that's all for our reports. Oh.
However, whilst that's all about our report,
All right,
we do
excuse me.
have a lot about the sunset tonight. We've got a beautiful, beautiful sunset that happened earlier this evening. And Brittany, what more can you tell us about that?
Well, we are going to be seeing those beautiful sunsets some more. I mean, look at tonight. We had no clouds in the sky, so we did have that beautiful sunset. Tomorrow should be the same way, so if you can, go out to the lake to go catch that sunset. Because like I said before, we're not going to be seeing those too much anymore as we go in the winter and with the rain and everything.
I love the sunsets here, especially where I'm from. I live in Scales Hall, and looking out across from my room at the lake every single night with that beautiful golden light of the sunset, it's just really, really heartening to see some beautiful, beautiful scenery, especially in a college campus. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I know a lot of college campuses aren't on the lake, so we are pretty lucky to have our campus right on the lake, so we are going to experience those sunsets. I unfortunately do take them for granted. I don't go down every day like I should, but they are beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely. Do you guys get involved with the sunsets as much as you'd like to?
Yeah, I mean, I go down to the lake actually all the time just to see it every now and then, or even just like throughout the day too. I don't know if you go down there all the time.
Yeah, I haven't made it this year, but the Oswego sunsets definitely, you can't beat them.
I know, especially from downtown as well, like even just looking out across from the lighthouse. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Great. All right, but now that's all for our report tonight. But be sure to stay tuned in for Excuse Me What.
Thank you for watching and have a great night, everyone.